YouTube, it's Louise, the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. Welcome to post-coronation. Yeah, it's the day after the coronation. The coronation, we now have our king has been crowned yesterday in Westminster Abbey. If you watched my booktube, you'll know that I was working. So I couldn't sit there for the 6 hours that I would have sat there if I hadn't have been working. But I did catch up on it, and I have watched a lot of it anyway since then. But yeah, very moving, surprisingly moving, slightly distracted, because when I just started to record this, I think I saw a hawk out there high in the sky, because I could tell by the tail. Last weekend, which was also a bank holiday, we went to the Raptor Foundation. Did we go to the Raptor Foundation after I'd filmed? I think we did. It was brilliant. Well, you're just a big pigeon. I know what you are. Big pigeon just went past, went, I'm a hawk too. It's like, no, you're not. You're a pigeon. Yeah. Say hello. Welcome back to Yarn Chat. This is your virtual knitting, stitching, crochet group. Lovely to see you. Come on in. Let me just move you a tiny bit that way. There we go. And I'm going to light a candle. Pop it here. I need a mat for you. My lovely Maxwell. Oh, dearie me. It's going to be one of those. Wax melt, my wax burner. Just that. So I have a little tea light here. Oh, let's light a candle and bring the light in. Bring the energy in. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in. And then when it's comfortable, release it. If you can do it on a count of 4, all the best. If you can't, whatever is comfortable for you. Oh, that is lovely. So, the wax melt that we're going to have, somebody told me the candle that they light. And I thought, how lovely, the idea that somebody else is lighting a candle and I light a candle. And I just felt so connected at that point. That was a real blessing for me. So thank you for that. Should really have written down everybody's names. So I got my Northern Soul Scent subscription that I get, and it is this month the Royal Garden Party Collection, Coronation Celebration, which is just delightful. Today, Sunday, there are lots of coronation parties. So coronation was yesterday, and it was anticipated that people would just watch it on the telly or go and watch it together on big screens. I know Ely Cathedral, which is quite close to us, they had a big screen up, and I think the husband tried to get the lad to go and watch it because he thought that would be really nice, but the lad wanted to watch it on his computer with a friend of his on Discord, so that didn't happen. And then today it's the coronation celebration, and it's the big lunch, and so there are street parties and village parties and people just having people round and doing something. So in our local town, it was bring a picnic, and they're going to do various things, and it's all kind of decorated, which I haven't seen, and I must go tomorrow and see it, the decorations. In this village, there was talk of doing one on the wreck. They did one for the Jubilee, but the husband says he doesn't think it actually happened. So I think people are doing kind of individual parties in the village. We're not doing anything. We have been invited to go around to the neighbours. They're having a do, sandwiches, cake, and they do celebrate. However, it is very much family, and we don't know them that well. I mean, obviously it's a way of getting to know them, but we're probably not going to go. They're very hospitable, though. They're absolutely lovely. But they're having, and we've seen people arriving there. It is 2:15 here, and we've just woken up the lad. Woken up our 15-year-old about half an hour ago, and he's bleary-eyed. But we're going to go to the local tap room because they're having a soul and funk, I think, a soul and funk band, and they're opening up, and they're going to have a food truck down there, and we're going to wander down there a bit later, the three of us. And then the idea was it would be that it's the three of us that will go, and I've just dug this out because this is something that we're going to take, and we're going to play top trumps. We're going to play elements top trumps because we are a nerdy science family. So we're going to take that. The boy was like, yeah. So yeah, we're going to take that. Top trumps. Who remembers top trumps? We have lots of top trumps. So anyway, let's go back to this coronation celebration. This came yesterday, which was amazing because it actually came on the day of the coronation. And we have strawberry jam and cream, a rich creamy cake scent blending fruity strawberry jam with rich and sweet vanilla and buttercream. And that's what we're going to have because yesterday we tried downstairs the garden mint and rhubarb. A crisp, zingy stewed rhubarb is soothed by the sweetness of apple, pear and caramelised sugar, topped off by lush garden mint leaves and a hint of lemon. Now that was really rhubarby. That was very rhubarby. I'm not sure it was my kind of scent. And I'm not, because I thought that was going to be more minty than rhubarby, but it was incredibly rhubarby. Now, I don't know, strawberry jam and cream, whether it's going to be my kind of thing either. You can't, that's the thing about subscription boxes. Sometimes you're delighted with what you get and other times you are not. But this might be sweet. And I don't tend to do super sweet. But we'll give it a go. I have got an afternoon tea set out for you. Should you care? Can we all just say hello to Summer King, who watched something like 5 of my yarn chats last weekend, or maybe even 6, and commented on them. And so welcome, Summer. Welcome, Summer King. Come and sit down with us. Everybody move up, make a room for Summer and say hello to Summer. You are so welcome here. Thank you so much for your lovely comments, and I can't believe that you chose to watch my videos. I can't believe that anybody does, and you are so supportive and very, very welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. Whether you choose to craft or not, you are still welcome here. The drink for today is, of course, Bucks Fizz, because it's a celebratory. I have alcoholic and non-alcoholic Bucks Fizz. Tea and coffee and water, of course, is there. I am drinking sparkling water. Because I will be going to the local tap room later and I shall be having a cheeky beer. Those cakes look nice, don't they? That's what we've got. Scones, clotted cream, strawberry jam. Okay. Let's talk about 3 things. A knitting thing, a crochet thing, and a new thing. So those are my 3 things that I'm going to talk about. Somebody said in the comments, are you doing anything? Are you knitting on anything at the moment? And the answer is, of course, yes. So I found this. I'd completely forgotten I was working on it. And I found it when I was looking for something else. And I was like, hooray. That's a very handy knitting thing to be working on this week. And so I have worked on it a lot. It is a spousal sock. Or as, I can't remember her name. Full and Vine. The lady who has the Full and Vine channel. I can't remember her name. You'll be saying it to the screen. This is because I'm a menopausal woman. I forget names all the time. Yeah, she talks about spousal socks, and here we are. This is not coming out quite as lime green as it really is. My word, it is lime green. It's quite close, but it is super lime green. It is vivid. So these are socks for the husband. Bizarrely enough, I did a single rib cuff. So this is my go-to sock recipe. So everybody has, or not everybody, but you quite often, if you knit a lot of socks, I think you have a kind of a go-to vanilla sock recipe, and then you might do other socks as well. That's what it seems to be from everybody. This is my go-to sock recipe. I use socks as a kind of a palette cleanser, or if I just want to pick up something and mindlessly knit or crochet, and I don't want it to be demanding, like yesterday, watching the television, watching the Coronation highlights, watching catch-up programs. I just needed to sit and knit, and therefore socks are my go-to. So I picked this up, and I have been working on it this week. I do mine cuff down. I do them on DPNs, double pointed needles. So this is where I'm up to on the second sock, but I'll show you the first sock to show you my recipe. I do them cuff down. I normally do 2x2 rib. For some reason, and I have no idea why, I did 1x1 rib. It is still good and stretchy. I do between 16, 17 and 18 stitches, rows. It's a 72 count sock, so it's the larger size of sock, so 72 count. I do, as I say, about 16, 17, 18 rows of rib, and then it's plain stockinette in the round on my DPN. For the leg, these are for the husbands. The husband quite likes a deep sock, and he likes to be able to pull them up. So I tend to do 7 inches from top to bottom. From there, then I do a heel flap and gusset, and that creates the heel and the turn of the sock. And then I knit the foot. I think these might be about a couple of rows, maybe 2-3 rows too long, because I normally think it is pretty much half and half, but maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. It won't matter if they're a little bit longer than normal. I do a traditional decrease Kitchener stitch toe, which does end up giving you this slightly weird shape. However, the husband loves it. They're perfect for his feet. I keep thinking about buying the Jules from So Sweet Violet, her whirlwind, a kind of a sock pattern from her, because she uses a whirlwind toe, which is a much more of a rounded toe, and I wonder whether that would suit the husband's toes even better. However, he has never complained about the fit of a sock, and he just finds them super comfortable, and he's looking forward to when he spotted these. He's like, oh, great, I love the colour. Now I'm wishing this was my thumbnail. See, you don't know this about me, but I always do my thumbnails before I start the video because I find it tricky to do thumbnails. So I always do them beforehand, then it's over and done with. So I tend to pick something and take a picture of myself with it. I'm wondering about changing my thumbnails to be a flat lay, and then that might be easier for me. But I think people like to see who it is that they're going to watch. So I kind of think, well, at least you know what you're getting when you see me. So yes. So he has never complained about these socks. When they wear, they don't tend to wear around the toe or anything, and he's never found them uncomfortable. So it's a winning. It's a kind of, it works. So I will probably just carry on. So yeah. So that is my completed sock. I found I had already. So when I picked them up last Monday, I think I found this. And I was like, oh, lovely. I was about there. So I finished them. and started the second stock, and I'm quite a long way down the leg. And as you can see, I went back to my traditional 2x2 rib, and I only realised yesterday that I have one with a 1x1 rib cuff, and then the second one is a 2x2. So I said to the husband, "Oh no, look what I've done." And he's like, "I love it." Makes it even more personal, makes it even more individual, the fact that my cuffs are going to be different. They tend to be different lengths anyway, because I'm never that precise. That looks like a 16 and that looks like an 18. Never mind, he's thrilled. Oh dearie me. And then I found out yesterday evening I dropped a stitch, but I've picked it back up. I don't know whether you can tell. That's my pickup. It's not perfect, but you'd have to be squinting at the husband's feet to notice that that's not utterly perfect. But yeah, I just found this stitch marker. So if I find I drop a stitch, so you just suddenly see a hook poking out and you see that you've dropped a stitch, the first thing I do with any drop stitch, as I'm sure most knitters do, but just in case you haven't yet got into a habit of what to do, is I grab a stitch marker and I hook that onto the drop stitch so it can't drop any further. Then I get a crochet hook, and then I hook it back up using a crochet hook. It's a matter of moments. Yeah, the yarn is by Gamer Crafting, and it's Luminous Lime. It's 100% sock, 4-ply fingering, 75% merino, 25% nylon. Standard sock, I would say. 400 meters, so it's a fingering weight yarn. It's lovely to knit with. It is really lovely to knit with. Even though it's a standard sock, you can't always tell how comfortable. I don't know whether you find that. Can't always, even if it's a standard sock, sometimes it can be more comfortable to knit with than others. But this is a really bouncy yarn. It feels really quite plump. I think it's going to be lovely for the husband to wear. I think he's going to be well pleased. I can see these becoming a favourite. The colour's just joyous. I mean, it brings a lot of life. That kind of green at the moment is the green that you can see on new growth outside, because here we are. Thank you for the people that said that they liked the pagan chat. Always. But yeah, it's a really nice yarn to knit with. Yeah, that's what I can say. What do I use? 2.25 DPNs. These are pony. That's my most comfortable. Metal DPNs. Yeah, there we go. That is my current knitting project, and very lovely it is too. I have a lovely sock measure, so I use that to measure the calf, that when to start my heel flap, because that has to be 7 inches, and then it actually has the sizes. So if you know that the husband takes size 10 shoes, so I need the whole foot to be 11 inches, so I knit until the foot is 9 inches, and then it's a 2-inch toe. So that's how it works for me. So yeah, I can't remember where I got this from. I got it from Etsy. Did I get it from Etsy, or did I see it? I might have even seen it suggested by somebody else, but it's a really lovely sock ruler. Keeping it all in my lovely Debbie Bliss. Debbie Bliss? Is it Debbie Bliss? Yeah. Is that right? Oh, I can't remember. But it's a very nice Harris tweed project bag. So there we go. So that's, and it scrunches up nice and neatly, nice and comfortably into my work bag. Really light, really handy. Can sit there after I've had a bit of lunch. Do 10-15 minutes knitting. Peaceful. Can you smell the strawberries and cream? I actually prefer that to the rhubarb. The rhubarb was very sweet. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Yeah. It is sweet, but it's not too sweet. Yeah. Okay, so crochet. So that's my knitting thing. My crochet thing, I'll show you where I've got to on my Easy Breezy crochet cardigan, which I'm knitting, crocheting in Stylecraft 4-ply, special 4-ply. So Stylecraft Special 4-ply in duck egg, and it's the Easy Breezy cardigan. I haven't got the pattern printed out. I bought it on Ravelry. Let me show you. Let me show you what it looks like. So it's the Easy Breezy cardigan crochet pattern by Jules and Jones. It came out last year. So you basically knit it, crochet it in sections, and then you whip stitch it together. I have done there are two sizes because it's supposed to be an oversized cardigan, which, as we know with me, is like, considering I do things oversized anyway, I am having to rein myself back in because of course I want to do it bigger. So I have added, I've done it the length that she suggested. So I have done it the amount of stitches across, but I have done it longer because of course I am tall. So I have done it longer, and we'll see how that goes. The best thing about crochet is, and this very simple pattern, if necessary, I can add a bit extra because there isn't a fancy edging at all, and I am tempted to add an edging anyway, but we'll see, because that is quite a basic edging, so I am tempted to add something, but we'll see. That might be perfect. It's all done in UK terms, trebles, but I did a foundation chain and then a row of double crochet just to give it a little bit more stability, and then I went into the rows and rows of trebles. I actually thought, if this works, it is a pattern that you could modify quite easily and you could embellish, so I thought that might be interesting to do. So that's my back panel. It's basically just trebles for days, and then you do two fronts, one front, which I did the right amount of stitches, but I lengthened it to exactly the same length as the back. So two fronts. So I've done the back, two fronts, and so I'm now doing the sleeves. I'm just storing those in my British Museum tote bag that I can't remember when I got it. So I am currently keeping in my pearl pouch, which I love, working on the first sleeve. True to form, I have added a few extras. So I have made this wider, And now I don't know whether that's a good idea or not. So I was trying it on the arm, on my bingo wings, and I thought I couldn't decide whether that was loose enough for what I wanted. So I have added, how many stitches did I add? I'm going to have to remember because I've got to do the other sleeve the same. I can't remember what I added. I think I added 12 stitches, which isn't a lot. Let's see what 12 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I added that. I think that'll be okay, actually. I think that'll be okay. So it's not a huge amount. And I've got to do it for a certain length, which I might add a few extra lengths because, of course, I'm tall, so I've got longer arms. So I might add a few more rows. I think it said to do it for something like 37 rows. Oh, I've just realised I've gone beyond that already. What am I up to? 2, 4, 6. One sec. Bear with. Oh, it's a proper yarn chat. This is. I'm going to count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Okay. So I've done 31. I think she wants me to do 37, but I might do like 42 and then have a go with that. As I say, with crochet, the beauty of it is I can always add a few more. That's the yarn. It's, as I say, special, Stylecraft Special 4-ply in duck egg. It is 100% premium acrylic, which is naturally anti-pilling, which it will be good for a cardigan. That's what the ball band looks like. I have used 3 balls so far. I think I'm on my 4th, and I've actually got at least, no, am I? What am I on? Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, I had 2, and I've ordered an extra 3. So I will have enough. In fact, I probably will have a ball over, but that's perfect. It's better to have too much than too little. Don't we all agree? So yeah, that is my crochet. Crochet hook size, I'm doing 4mm. And is working really well. Thank you kindly. I'm just going to tidy, put all this away. Naturally tidy. There we go. Yeah, there we are. So that's my crochet thing. I'm not going to show you my progress on my Janie Crow Spirit of Floracal motif, the Marlborough motif, because it isn't quite finished. It's been one of those weeks. How's your week been? Has it been okay? Have you had a good week? How's our week been? Yeah. The lad has had exams, which is naturally stressful for him. I personally think he could have done more revision. But is that not the lot of a mum to think that? Especially a mum that liked to revise. I've offered help. He said no. But he is a smart cookie, and I've got to trust that he knows what he's doing. And actually the mocks will show him what he needs to do and what he needs to do more of. That's what they're there for. So yeah, that's the done lot. The Dunlop. That's the done. That's the completed back and 2 fronts. And then we've got the first sleeve. It's not far off being completed. And then I'll have a second sleeve, and then I can seam them together and see what the sizing's like. In my mind, If it works, this one, I'm tempted to try a little panel of embellishment and try a slightly different pattern and see, because I could use that as my kind of judgment, whether I need it to be bigger or smaller, or, you know, what if it fits me, if it looks right. But we have a wedding of my niece. I have a big family. One of my nieces is getting married in August, the beginning of August, and I have bought what I'm going to wear. I'm going to wear a dress, but it's a strappy dress. It's very nice. It's very nice, and it goes under the breasts, and it's a maxi dress. It's to the floor, and I will wear that just with pumps or even if it's a nice day, just kind of fancy flip flops or something like that. It's really nice, but what I fancy is a little cover up. That's what I like to have, just a little cover up. And if this works out, I'm tempted to get some different yarn, again 4-ply, but slightly fancier yarn, not massively fancier, but slightly fancier, in a different colour, and do a tiny different, see if I can just increase the pattern a little more, just kind of embellish it a little bit. I would have time to do it, because I have all of June and all of July, and that would be enough time. If I had a bit more confidence as to what the actual cardigan was going to look like on me, and if I did it in a neutral enough colour, it could be used more often. Yeah, that could work, and then that would be nice. I've bought the dress, but I've made the cover up. I thought that would be nice. Yeah. Anyway, that's in my head. Let's talk about the last thing, which is a new thing, which I haven't started yet. Bought the pattern, have got the knitting needles, does not have the yarn, which is frustrating. So, what is it, I hear you cry? It is, let me show you. Let me show you what the pattern is. It is Good Bunny, patterned by Susan B. Anderson. And she is one of the co-owners of Barrett Wool, the Barrett Wool Company, which you may well be familiar with. She's a lovely designer for both clothes, for both wearables, but also she does a lot of toys. She does wearables and accessories, but she does an awful lot of toys, and I have made previous patterns of hers. What's lovely about her toys like this is that they are knitted, they're all in one. So she has a particular way of, you do a particular stitch, you do purl bumps actually, and that shows you where you can then pick up and knit on. She's really, stop saying really, she's a inspiring designer, and I find her patterns enjoyable to use. I fancied doing a toy, that was it. I just fancied making something small and a toy, and I wanted to knit it, and I kept seeing her patterns, and I thought, do you know, what's even cuter of this is that they come with little outfits, they come with little things, little kind of clothes to put on them. And as I was saying, my niece is getting married, and it's also the christening of her daughter, and her daughter will be just under a year. So she was born in September last year, late September last year, and she's getting married in August, so she'll be under a year. And I thought I might, if I like the pattern, I might make her one, because that would be a cute little thing to have. There will also, I don't know whether my nephew's daughter will be over from They live in Australia. I don't know whether they're coming back for it. It'd be a shame if they don't, but I don't know. It's a lot of money. A lot of money and a long way to travel. So, yeah. But my other niece has got a little girl. I could do that for her. And I've actually got a nephew, and why wouldn't little boys like rabbits? So he might get a rabbit as well. But I just thought I'd have a go. My only obstacle with this, I didn't have these, so I needed to get some 3.5 DPNs. I've got so many DPNs. I did not have 3.5. Or I couldn't find my 3.5s. I did have these, which are my 3.75. So 3.75 Addies. These are lovely. But I do like these Knit Pro. These are Knit Pro Symphony, so they're bamboo, which I chose that for a reason, because I want to use wool, not acrylic. So I have quite a lot of acrylic or cotton. I don't actually have that much wool. And the wool that I do have is fingering weight. So I have merino, or I have lots of sock blends. So I have merino and merino nylon. I also have merino and silk, luxurious. And I have some lace weight merino and silk. I don't have much wool that is not a fingering weight. I have considered doing it in acrylic, but I'll show you, because I thought about doing it in acrylic, because I have got plenty of acrylic, but I actually don't have acrylic in the right weight, because the acrylic, the pattern calls for sport weight. Now sport weight is in between 4-ply. It's kind of 4-ply and DK, so it's not as heavy as DK. It's not as plump as DK, but it's a little bit thicker than 4-ply, and it isn't a common yarn weight in the UK. We tend to have lace weight and 4-ply, lace weight and fingering weight, and 4-ply and DK, and then Aran, and which is worsted, and kind of up, bulky and chunky and all that kind of good stuff. Don't tend to use much. It's never really advertised as sport weight. We do sometimes have baby, which is kind of that. But all the baby that I can actually find to have a look at was all acrylic. And I don't want acrylic because I want the feel of wool. And I also want the fact that if it's done in acrylic, the stitches will stand out. So it's like, so I've got this to kind of show you. This wasn't done in acrylic, this was done in cotton. And if you can see, the beauty of cotton and the beauty of acrylic when you're doing something like this is that you get this amazing stitch definition. The actual stitch is very prominent. So this was an alien I did in cotton. And cotton's really nice because it's cool and it's sturdy, it's hard wearing, and you get this fabulous stitch definition. So you can really see the stitches. So this is in contrast. This is actually a Susan B. Anderson pattern. It's a Little Witch from the Little Witch charm set. And if you can see that the stitches, although they are present and you can still look at them, you can still tell it is knitted. Excuse me, I'm getting air because I'm talking so much. Although you can tell the stitch, you can tell it's knitted, it isn't as defined as there. I mean, okay, it's different sizes, but with acrylic, it's similar to cotton. The stitch definition is a lot more prominent. Okay, there's a pattern, as I say, you can tell it's knitted, but it isn't, the stitch isn't as prominent. I think, really. Okay, that was crocheted as well. That's crocheted, whereas that's knitted. But I couldn't find a knitted toy that I had done in acrylic. This was done in little scraps of merino. I did this a couple of years ago. 3 years ago, 4 years ago. little witch, and it's all done in scraps of merino that I had. And I did 3 of them. 3 little witches, and I changed the colour of it. And yeah, there we go. So this is a Susan B. Anderson pattern, and the body, the head and the body are all knit in one, and then you pick up and knit the arms, and the hat is separate, as is the broomstick. So yeah, so cute, really enjoyable. That needed small needles knitting around. So I have hunted for quite a few. I've been to quite a few yarn shops and looked online. I don't want to spend lots of money. I don't need a huge amount of wool, I don't think. It's like 20 grams, 14 grams, 8 grams, 6 grams, because it's not that big a toy. It's actually knit in woolens by Barrett Co. Company, of course, 100% American wool. And again, it is that kind of lovely wool. This is the Good Bunny is the second character in my Good series. The Good Bunny might be even more charming than the first, the Good Bear pattern. The Good Bear pattern looked lovely as well. So yeah, the wardrobes of the Good Bunny and the Good Bear are interchangeable. So all the clothes and accessories will fit both toys. Well, maybe I should get the Good Bear as well, and then do a whole wardrobe. So yeah, so the custom made to fit Good Bunny clothing, including pants, dress, underskirt, bonnet and shawl, are all worked separately. So it has a bonnet and a shawl as well. I don't know whether I'll do the bonnet and the shawl. I wasn't that bothered about the bonnet and the shawl. Let's find a picture of it. It actually does look really cute with this bonnet on. Oh, it is actually quite cute. There we go. Oh yeah, there you are. You can see the bear. You can see the bear and the bunny. So yeah. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. So I bought the pattern, printed it out. I wanted to have a look at the yarn and actually touch it and feel it before before buying it. And everything I found was either acrylic or had some acrylic in it. And as I say, I do want wool. The best I can find, which I can't find to actually feel. Oh, I've got quite a lot of makeup on today for some reason. Is merino, drops baby merino. So as I was saying, the problem I've had is the fact that sport weight isn't a common weight. So I thought about drops baby merino. This comes in 47 shades, so there are plenty to choose from. That's the other thing, because the most common comparable weight is baby. They're all quite. A lot of the ones that I could find were all, baby clothes colours, and I don't want baby clothes colours. I would like something a bit more vibrant. So I'm tempted by this. I'm tempted by the light grey for the actual bunny. I thought that might be quite nice. Light grey, perhaps. I think so. Or off-white. Maybe off-white. Looks more like cream to me. It's remarkably like cream. But maybe light grey. There isn't an oatmeal, which is kind of what I fancied. Powder, maybe powder. That might be kind of cute. What do we think? And then I shall choose some kind of colours. These come in 50-gram balls, which would mean that I would have enough for 2 bunnies. And the 50-gram balls are £3.35. This is the Wool Warehouse, which I quite often use, which is a family-run business. So I like to use them. So yeah, I think I am going to. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I think I'm going to have to order them in. Order it in from there. Wouldn't be too bad. I don't know how many colours do I actually need. Let's count while we're together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Only 4. Only 4 colours. So that's not too bad. £4 times 4 times £3.35. £12. Yeah, so £13.70. £13.40, sorry. That's not bad, is it? £13.40. Oh no, is it 35 or 25? I can't remember now. It's either £13.40 or £13.70, around there anyway. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm just keeping it in this project bag for the time being. Yeah, so hopefully next week maybe I'll have them to show you. I don't know whether they'll actually come in time because of course it is bank holiday weekend. So I don't know whether I'll get them before next weekend. Me and the alien. This was a Rokiki pattern. I really like Rokiki, and that was a lovely. This is one I actually made for my brother, and then the husband liked it so much I kept this one and did another one. I did a grey for my brother, who thought it was a cat. So he's like, why has Louise made me a cat? Until his wife said, turn it upside down. Oh, it's an alien. He's right, though. He does look like a cat. He's like, oh, why the hell he crocheted me a cat? Until his wife realised she's not daft. So yeah, there we go. Thank you, Yarn Chat. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Please enjoy the cream tea that has been laid out for you, and have another glass of box fizz before you go. Let's sit back. Let's chat. Don't rush off. This has been lovely, YouTube. Let's do it again.